guys, it's a pretty decent day out here in the Central Oregon desert. It's a little overcast, it's clearing up, but felt like coming out here, enjoying a cup of coffee, telling you guys about an idea I had. So you've all seen all those Survivor shows that are on TV, you know, Survivor Man, Dual Survivor, forget the name of it, but the one with Bear Grylls, and I got a real problem with those shows. You're stupid if you're caught up in a situation where you have nothing on you, or very little on you. You should always be prepared, no matter what you're doing. If you're going out for a day hike, you know, bring stuff in case you end up having to stay overnight. You know, bring shelter, bring food, bring water, or a way to purify water. You know, I'm not saying the guys that are doing those shows aren't awesome. They have a lot of skills, great skills, but it's just stupid to be put in that situation, or to put yourself in that situation. So I came up with this idea for a Survivor show called Prepared. Now, I know it's never going to get picked up by TV because there's not enough drama in it, but check this out for an idea. Something happens, you know, you're out driving around the desert and your rig breaks down out in the middle of nowhere, but you're prepared and you have what you need to get you from point A to point B to get your ass saved. You know, say you're out doing a day hike. Something happens, I don't know, you get lost. But you have the shit on your back that you need to get from point A to point B to get your ass saved. Well, since I know TV's not gonna pick this up, or, you know, they're never gonna make a TV show like this, I'm gonna make one for you. I'm gonna make the show Prepared and put it here on YouTube, free for you to watch. I mean, you know, it's gonna take a while to do, to come up with the different scenarios and to actually be able to get out and film them. Hopefully soon I'll be able to do the first episode. This here's just a little introduction. And for those of you wondering, yes, this is a green Stanley Cup. It's pretty good for coffee. So being an introduction to Prepared, I thought I'd show you some of the things I keep in my vehicle at all times. And this list isn't all-inclusive. You know, there's things that I'm missing that I need. There's things that I need to replace. Some things I may be even going a little overboard, but I'd rather be overboard than not prepared. So let me move the camera and show you some of the things I keep in the back here. Some things I'm not going to pull out and show. I'll just mention them real quick because it's like standard stuff and it's kind of a pain in the ass to pull out. But yeah, here, let me get you adjusted and go over what I keep in here and what I want to get to keep in here, what I want to replace. All right. So first of all, you see my pack. This is my do-it-all pack. This is 72-hour / bug out / overnight camping pack / get home bag. It's got everything I need for 72 hours of survival. It is it does get kind of heavy. It's about 45 pounds. I've been trying to come up with ways of lightening it up, but that'll come eventually. But that 45 pounds is full of water. You know, that's 2 1-quart canteens full of water and a 2.5-liter bladder full of water. I'm not going to go over what's in it because I've done that on other videos. I have added a couple things, a couple minor things, like you'll see the sleeping pad I've added to it. You know, it's kind of bulky, but it's light, and for hammocking, it's great in the cool weather. You throw it in the hammock underneath you, and it keeps that cold air off your back. In fact, last time I was out here, it was hovering right around freezing at night. I had this underneath me, and I had my sleeping bag just thrown on top of me with my feet in the foot box, but I mean, it wasn't zipped up around me or anything. And I woke up sweating thanks to this. So I'm not really going to go into what's in here, but this is always in my vehicle. On the other side of my pack, I'm not going to pull it out, but I have my other pack. That is my extended stay pack. I'm not going to go into really what's in it, because I've done that in other videos. It's basically just a companion pack to this one for staying out longer. There's more food, more water, more things that are suited to longer stay trips, you know, bigger cooking kit, whatnot. But both of those packs are always in here, and combined in these packs I have probably a half a dozen meal replacement bars, half a dozen Mountain House meals, freeze-dried meals. You know, plenty of food to last a while. Plus coffee. It's important. Coffee is a diuretic. It dehydrates you. But if you have plenty of coffee, or if you have plenty of water to counteract the dehydration, it's a big morale booster. You know, if you're in a survival situation and you wake up in the morning and are able to make yourself a cup of coffee, it's gonna help you mentally. All right, moving on. See here, I have a roll of wire. Great for so many things. Making snares, hanging pots off of a tripod. I'm not even going to all the usefulness of that. Here I have about a half a case of bottled water. I do need to restock on my water. I try to keep a full case in here. I've had to use or break into that a few times, so I will be replacing that, having a full case of water, something I think that should be in every vehicle. This, not so much for being prepared. On the other side of the water, I do have a little folding camp stool. That's just for comfort when I'm out here, but it stays in here. I do have a floor jack here. I want to replace that with a high lift. A high lift jack is absolutely beneficial if you're in a truck or SUV and you're doing off-roading. It can be used for so many things besides jacking up your vehicle. I mean, you can use it to winch your vehicle out of a shitty spot. On the other side of the packs, there's a compartment in there for for all your tire changing stuff. In there's another jack, the crappy scissors jack that came with this, lug wrench. I have some chain in there. I do want to replace the chain that's in there with good chain. The chain that's in there was just something I had in the garage and I threw in here. It's not great, but it'll do in a pinch. So that chain will be replaced. Tow strap, have a basic emergency roadside kit in there. So speaking of emergency road kit, in here I have just a small air pump that runs off of your cigarette lighter thing. It's slow, but it does the trick. Great item to keep in your vehicle in case of flats or whatever. Keep some coolant. A small shovel. This is great digging yourself out of spots, digging a fire pit. I mean, it's just a really useful tool. Next to that, I keep a full-size American felling axe. This one is a New Jersey pattern head, or Jersey pattern head, something like that. That, not so much for cutting down trees, but, you know, if I'm trying to get somewhere and there's a tree has fallen in the way, you know, I can chop it up, get it out of the way. I can do something like that a lot easier with this axe than I can with my small forest axe that's attached to my pack. Under here I have my bow saw, and I do have a bastard file right there that I need to find a home for sharpening the axe in a hurry if I need to. And that's pretty much everything I keep back here. It's messy right now. I do need to organize everything, but everything I have basically takes up half of my cargo space. And, you know, again, there are some things I do want to add to my vehicle, but this is basically it. I do keep a pair of mechanics gloves. These are Tacticool gloves, you know, they're the multicam pattern. But those are just for, you know, working on the vehicle, whatever. I do have back there I do have a small toolkit for doing minor repairs on the vehicle if need be. One of the most important things that I keep in my vehicle at all times, and I don't keep it back here, on the back side of my front seats, I have a seat back gun holder, or rifle holder, or long gun holder, and I keep a .22 rifle. This isn't, you know, an expensive rifle or anything. This is just a cheap Marlin semi-auto, 10-round capacity with a cheap scope, and I'd keep 100 rounds of CCI mini mag in here to go along with it. You never know when you'll need a rifle, whether it's for, you know, if you're in a survival situation, you can shoot small game with it for food. If you're just coming out to the desert for fun, you always have a gun to plink around with. So, I mean, these are just some of the things I keep in here. I briefly mentioned some of the things that I want to get for the vehicle. You know, with this, if I'm out playing around and something happens, I have a pretty good chance of survival. Getting myself out without having to resort to drinking my own piss or, you know, eating raw fish or raw food or, you know, all that crazy shit Bear Grylls does, which is just kind of stupid if you ask me. Now, everything that's in here goes along with my EDC stuff also. Every day, you know, I carry the same things. I got a pocket knife. I got a lighter. I have a handgun and spare ammo. On my keychain, I have a P51 can opener. You know, all this stuff just, it all works together. And this is kind of how I want to do this show is just showing how well or how much better off you will be in a survival situation if you're prepared. You know, a couple other things I keep in the vehicle at all times also. 550 cord, a 50-foot length of 550 cord. That's in the back seat area. I also keep a coat. You know, right now it's springtime here in Central Oregon. Well, it's springtime everywhere in the US, but here in Central Oregon, springtime means you can be going from 80-degree weather down to, as a high, the next day it could be freezing as a high, or rainy. You know, we can get snow. Central Oregon's a crazy place. They say if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. So, you know, just stuff like that. I, you know, got a spare set of clothes in there too. In both packs, I have a spare set of wool socks. I have toilet paper. You know, everything. I have toilet paper in my pack. I have another a full roll of toilet paper in my pack that I've put in the food saver and sucked all the air out. You know, vacuum sealed. That's the term I was looking for. And in the vehicle, I have a full roll of toilet paper just out there, you know, floating around. Another important thing I keep in the vehicle at all times: a case of beer. Not for drinking and driving. It's for, you know, I never know when I'm going to come out to the desert to hang out, dick around, play, go camping, whatever. If I keep a case of beer in here, it's one less stop I have to make. I have 3 forms of communication in my vehicle: cell phone. I also have FRS, GMRS radios in there, and I have a CB. If something happens and I don't have cell reception, you know, I can jump on the CB or the FRS, GMRS radios and try to pick someone up. My CB actually gets pretty good range because I have an 8.5-foot whip antenna. Normally I have it tied down, but I can, you know, untie it, have it pop up, get over some of these small hills because, you know, these radios work line of sight. And, you know, I can get that antenna up over a hill and try to get someone if I need to. So as far as the show I'm going to be making here on YouTube for you guys prepared, I have 2 scenarios planned out so far. One, I'm going to be out driving around the desert and the rig breaks down. Can't get it started. Got to get myself, you know, get myself saved. Another scenario that I've come up with is I'm going to head out to the Pacific Crest Trail and do a little hiking and get lost. You know, go out for a day hike, get lost. And, you know, I'll show you in the episodes what I have with me, why it's important to have that with me, and get myself saved. Now, I can't actually get myself lost. I don't have a camera crew, producers, and all this other stuff to know where we're at all times, and me not. If that were the case, that'd be great. But since I don't have that, I will know where I'm at all times, and how to get out of there. But, you know, we'll just play along with it. So, that's pretty much all I got for you right now. If you have any ideas on some scenarios to put myself into, I'll see what I can do to make an episode for that. That's it for now. I'm gonna grab my shovel, go put out the fire, and do a little plinking. Remember, firearms and alcohol don't mix unless you're a pew professional. See you on the next one.